Oh, hello there, and welcome back to the Eternal Podcast of the Broccoladini. And as we like to say on the show, remember to believe in magic, kids, or I'll fucking kill you. Yes, this week on the show, our topic is ceremonial, folk, and chaos magic basics. And by basics, I mean whatever I can cover in 15 to 25 minutes. And in the course of this topic, we will discuss symbolic formula, invisible boundary delineation, mispronunciation of Hebrew words, magic, mineral, herbal, and doodad, sigilization, and salt. And with all that magical shit on our plate, we might as well jump right in. All three sorts of magic which we are going to talk about today, that is, ceremonial magic, folk magic, and chaos magic, arose together. Ceremonial and folk magic arose side by side throughout the ancient and medieval worlds, and chaos magic is their strange child, whose modern usage knows no boundaries. Much of the basis of practical magic can be found most easily in ceremonial magic, whose ground laying can never be underestimated in the world of magical ritual. And ceremonial magic is much about symbolic formula. In the symbolic formula, the classical Greek elements of fire, water, air, and earth play a role that cannot be looked down upon, because it really is the entire thing. The ceremonial magic user's tools are the knife, the wand, the disc, and the cup, which are elemental weapons. The wand representing fire, the sword representing air, the cup representing water, and the disc representing earth. The interplay of these elements are the foundation of ceremonial magic, as well as the use of geometry. Circles, triangles, and pentagrams come into basic use. Creating a magical circle is one of the most basic elements to practical magic in general. Whether you're fighting ghosts, trying to charm a bracelet, or put weird hexes on your friends that make them spill every cup of coffee they buy, you'll have to start with a magical circle. And the why for that can be long and intense. So, to make it simple, it's to create an invisible boundary through which bad spiritual forces cannot pass, and which create a magical space inside of the boundary for the work to take place in laboratory magic conditions. The ceremonial work space is symbolic of the universe, and the four directions called upon to create the circle are once again symbolic of the elements fire, water, air, and earth. The circle is seen as the limitless universe, and the center of the circle with the altar as ourselves, or our place in the universe. For us, the universe's center, and the altar is often seen as planet Earth, the work interface. So remember, symbolic uses, elements, tools, boundary delineation, geometry and shapes, and the ever important mispronunciation of Hebrew words, which can not be overdone or overused in the application of ceremonial magic. Moving on to folk magic, the idea of the delineation of the circle that is basic to ceremonial magic will always be present. In folk magic, there are various different varieties of calling upon the four directions to create the circle, and the use of the Greek elements of fire, water, air, and earth is still ubiquitous. Yeshua of Nazareth, that is, Jesus, said to his followers, "You are like the salt of the earth," which goes to point out that to average ancient Mediterranean people, salt was a very significant, not just physically, but perhaps also spiritually, representing all that was nice, good, and holy about the earth. The paragon of substances. Not only does it taste good, it was also used as money and to clean things, and was known for its antiseptic qualities. Likewise, in folk magic, salt is seen as a spiritual purgative, and the creation of a circle of salt to repel evil forces is a common theme in ceremonial and folk magic alike. And this would fall under one of the categories of folk magic, being mineral, herb, and doodad magic. But we can't discuss mineral, herb, and doodad magic without first discussing sympathetic magic, which is the basis of the psychology of folk magic. Sympathetic magic holds that things which resemble other things in our minds can be used as symbolic stand-ins for those other things which we used to wish to curse, invoke, bring upon ourselves, affect, or otherwise mess with using magic. For example, to summon money, one may bind together silver mercury dimes and other things which remind one of money, herbs and minerals which remind us of money, and colors that remind us of money, such as green or gold, wrapping up silver mercury dimes and small bits of silver and lodestones into a gold-colored bag and putting it next to a gold-colored candle, being the basis of an idea of sympathetic folk magic. In ceremonial magic, sprinkling a room with water filled with salt dissolved into it, and then incensing it with fire and incense lifted upon the air, counts as a all-four Greek element bath, creating a ritually clean space. But this idea is not without the application of sympathetic magic psychology in itself. Mineral, herb, and doodad magic includes taking amuletized or tokenized objects, whether these be little tokens or little rocks or little satchels of herbs or any other funky little thing you can come across in our world, and applying the concept of sympathetic magic to them. Candle magic is another kind of sympathetic magic, and this is using specially designed candles, sometimes soaked in specially designed or purposed oils, sometimes with the inclusion of specially purposed minerals, and even specially purposed doodads. the combination of many different types of folk magic into one magical item, often a satchel containing many different minerals, herbs, and doodads, all geared towards a particular nature, from their color to their meaning, and soaked in further incense and candle rituals to bring out said desired goal, with candles, incenses, and rituals designed to match the whole theme, are called mojo hands and have been a common product in American Southern folk magic. But the psychology of folk magic has to take a backseat to the psychology of chaos magic, which has emerged as a next level type cancerous tumor off of the bodies of magic in the modern era. One of the foundational techniques of chaos magic is sigilization. This is the self-creation of a symbol which to you represents the entire goal which you are seeking to magically alter the world around you for. The memorization of the sigil, the sexual charging of the sigil in ritual, and then the hiding and forgetting the sigil forever. This process being meant to bury the goal in your subconscious mind, where the process of actualization begins. And this kind of trick is indeed the foundation of all three sorts of magic which we have discussed today. And whether it's black magic we're talking about, or whether it's white magic, and whether it's low magic or high magic. And right now I'm high enough to believe it might be high magic. If it's magical enough for you, at the end of the day, dear listener, it's magical enough for me. Oh, hello there, and thank you for listening to the Eternal Podcast of the Broccoladini. The Eternal Podcast of the Broccoladini is brought to you by Aleister Crowley's Hippie Mineral and Doodad Shop. Aleister Crowley's Hippie Mineral and Doodad Shop, located off I-77-7 and something else in hell. And also by Lady Ravenwolf's Moon Dream Studio. Lady Ravenwolf's Moon Dream Studio, I don't know what it is, but I just made it up. But I bet if you can't find lodestones there, you can find them at Aleister Crowley's Hippie Mineral and Doodad Shop. For those of you who are upset that I did not talk about sexual fluids in magic, that's for the more advanced class, you dingus. Stop being a creepy weirdo on my fucking YouTube videos. This isn't some kind of pornographic educational podcast. Alright? Listen, my guy. I don't have time for this. And remember that Aleister Crowley said, no matter what you do with magic, it has to come from the inside. However, if your insides aren't doing it right, it's 'cause you're a dumbass and haven't studied the formulas. And unfortunately, that is all the time we have for the show this week. As always, I hope that you enjoyed listening to this almost as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, my friends. Subscribe to the Eternal Podcast of the Broccoladini. Get weird shit like this on your feed every week. I won't tell anybody if you don't. Nobody has to know that you listen to this.